Greetings, friend.
Greetings to you too.
All right. Here we go. Holy Mary, Mother of God, don't let me miss anything, and forgive me for what I'm doing to this unfortunate wretch. He looks a bit ruddy, but is that from the poison, or was he just drunk? I can't see anything strange here. No bruises or broken lips. No signs of poisoning. Ah, what a stench. He coughed up some blood, all right, but he also threw his guts up. Ah, there's no way I'm examining that. He looks horribly rigid and contorted. He must have died in awful spasms. Nothing strange here except the stiffness and broken nails. Could he have dug his nails into the table when the spasms started? Ah, it hurts just to think about it. Completely rigid, just like the arms. But, oh, Christ, what a stink! Ugh, he shat himself. God, that's rank. I'll examine some other part of him instead. That's a nasty wound. I almost feel sorry for Cherton. But why would someone kill him in the most heavily guarded part of the camp, instead of trying to lure him outside? Well, almost everything is covered in blood. But there doesn't seem to have been much of a fight. I can't see anything ripped or sliced off. There's nothing missing. Whoever killed him, it doesn't look like a robbery. Oh, his belly's hacked to ribbons. Who could have butchered him like that, for God's sake? That'll have to do. I've found out enough. He had spasms, as red as a poppy. But that could be from drinking, or lots of things. I mustn't forget anything. That's the main thing.
Careful!
Right, that's that. I should tell Musa what I've learned.
Shouldn't be walking around by yourself.
I read that book of yours, and I think I know now what Chertan was poisoned with.
What do you mean, you think? Do you know or not?
The potion is called Kiss of Death. It causes vomiting, cramps, boils, and rapid death.
This name means nothing to me. I suppose I did not get that far in the book. But if you think the symptoms are the same, I will believe you. Are you sure it was that poison? Were there not more in the book?
There were a couple of other poisons, that's true.
That does not narrow down our search much.
But I'll figure it out somehow. You'll see.
Now, we can only hope that the murderer has not had time to get rid of the evidence.
I better start searching fast, hadn't I? You said that the suspects are Grozav, Crow, and the 2 guards. This won't take long.
Wait a moment. There is something I must tell you.
Of course. Go on.
First, you should know that I am grateful for what you are doing. Were it not for your investigation, I probably would not be standing here. But I cannot stop thinking about how brilliantly you dealt with Mishek. Why would someone with your abilities want to enlist? I do not suspect you of Tertan's murder, of course. Do not worry. It is all strange, though. People have just been sitting around for months here. And all of a sudden you turn up, and everything is turned upside down.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Tell me the truth, my friend. Who are you? Really?
I don't know what you're talking about. Is this some kind of loyalty test or something? I'm just doing what I'm told to do. Is there something wrong with that?
I have more important things to do than to try to trick you. I am asking you sincerely, as a friend. Who are you?
All right. I'll try to trust you. Maybe I'm not King Sigismund's most ardent supporter.
I knew it! I could tell straight away that you were cleverer than others in this camp.
You're pleased? Aren't you a courtier of his?
It was not my first choice. Or do you think I long to spend half my life in some dirty tent?
How did you come to be in Sigismund's court?
That is a long story. I once served Sultan Bayezid. Although the Osmans are not that welcoming to my people, the Sultan at the time received envoys from all over the world, so I was useful. But soon after, we found ourselves at war with Timur and his Golden Horde. Luckily, that is, luckily for me, it was around then that Sigismund's messenger came to see the Sultan. And I managed to persuade the Sultan to send me to Hungary as a goodwill gesture. I am sure you understand that I did not want to wait for Timur's savages to cut my head off. But let us just say that King Sigismund did not show me the respect my position is worthy of. Instead of making me his counselor and physician, he sent me here.
Well, you could go elsewhere if you don't like it here. I know a few people who would value someone like you.
I am grateful to you, my friend, but I must refuse. I have had many experiences in life and come out of them alive. And do you know why? Because I am a total coward. And not just that, I am duly proud of it. I would be very happy to get away from here and perhaps even return home, but only when I am sure I will survive the journey. So I think it will be best if we each go our own way.
You know nothing. I know nothing.
And this conversation never took place.
I'd better go and search the tents.
Good luck. I am depending on you.
For pain, exhaustion, fever, all healing remedies. I wouldn't mind a piece of that. Beautiful, but empty. No poison. Just a broom. No, I doubt that pair of drunks could have killed Chertan even if they wanted to. Nothing out of the ordinary. I'd like to ask a couple of questions about Chertan's murder.
I have a couple of questions of my own. What actually happened? Kat said Chertan is dead and Musa's locked up.
It's even more complicated than that. But I don't have time to explain it to you now. I need to ask you a couple of questions.
Go ahead and ask then, but quietly, damn it. I don't want anyone to know about it.
Where were you when Chertan was poisoned?
Where do you think? In my tent. After I helped take him to the infirmary with Musa, I went my own way.
Well, you just went off to have a nap?
No, I doubled the guard, drew up the orders for tomorrow, and made sure nobody was allowed to leave the camp. When something like this happens, people like me have lots to do all of a sudden.
Tell me more about the storage space.
What about it? There's a cannon and some powder there. We built it a few days after we arrived because it's a good idea to keep that kind of stuff safe. If it blew up, the whole place would be blown to smithereens. And if someone didn't happen to set fire to it, someone else might have robbed it. Folk are like magpies.
Oh, except for you, the crow.
Very droll. Never heard that one before.
It was you who came to tell us that Chertan had been stabbed, wasn't it? How did you get involved in the first place?
Me? I was close by, that's all. My tent is right below the palisade. And when the two guards found Chertan, they ran to get me.
Hold on. The two guards said otherwise. They said they found Chertan and were discussing what to do when you turned up. By yourself.
Is that what they said? It's possible. I can't remember now. It all happened so fast. And anyway, how am I supposed to remember all this shit? Maybe I heard them and went to see what was going on.
Are you sure you don't want to tell me what really happened?
All right. You want the truth, so I'll tell you the truth. In fact, I really was up top. It's because I had to keep an eye on you.
Me? Why, for Christ's sake?
You really don't know? You may have been given our colours, but you're still a stranger. I didn't want you running around unsupervised. But it seems you're a decent fella, so don't fuck it up now. That. Oh.
Nails? Is Crow planning on building a cottage instead of a tent? But they're covered in some kind of dirt. Oak. And dry as a bone. The water smells of flowers of some kind. Like roses? Hold on. Nails, rosewater, oak bark. They're all used to brew Kiss of Death. I've been doing a lot of thinking about Chertan's murder.
What's that got to do with me?
Well, it's just that I found a couple of interesting things in your tent. Isn't there something you should tell me?
No, and get off my back.
Calm down. If I wanted to snitch on you, I'd go straight to Kat's without bothering to ask you any questions.
Well, let's say you might have a point. What was it you said?
You know something about the murder, don't you?
Maybe a little, but I don't want word to get out, all right?
Why would anyone kill Chertan anyway?
Maybe it wasn't about Chertan. Maybe someone wanted to do something in the ammunition store, but Chertan turned up, so he had to kill him.
In the ammunition store? What would anyone be doing there?
Trying to blow it sky high.
What? What good would that do anyone?
It might make him very rich. Let's say Sigismund has a lot of enemies who are planning something big. It'll start in Italy, I hear, and it'd come in very handy if someone gave the king a setback before that. He'd lose allies there, and here his camp goes to shit. There's sure to be dozens of saboteurs all over the empire, just like the one here.
I should probably report you. But I've got a much better idea. Let's say I'm not a great supporter of Sigismund. What if we were to help each other out?
That doesn't sound bad. Let me finish my work. We can put the blame for Chertan's murder on Grozav. I can't stand that fucker anyway.
What, accusing an innocent man? But he'll be executed.
Better him than me. So, can we make a deal?
But there's one condition. The storeroom doesn't blow up until we set off for Sedlets. I need that cannon of yours.
Ah, so that's why you're here. All right, I can arrange that. I'll prepare a long fuse and light it just before departure. With a bit of luck, we'll be long gone when it blows up. But first, we have to get rid of Grozav. I have a poisonous plant here. Put it in the chest in his tent, and at the trial, we'll say he used it to poison Chertan.
All right. Give it here. I'll take care of it.
I can't wait to see that stuck-up idiot Grozav in irons.
Don't think I can't see you.
Relax. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Lucky for you.
He's the camp commander, but it looks like a pauper lives here. I reckon Grozav's fallen on hard times. How could anyone drink all this? Grozav doesn't strike me as a keen reader. At least he hasn't had to sell his armor to buy booze yet.
Close to the others. Safe.
Don't think I can't see you.
Relax. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Lucky for you.
Right. I found out all I could. I reckon I'm as ready for the trial as I'll ever be.
My word, you're bristling with confidence. We still have some time, so calm down, or you'll give yourself a fit. In the meantime, I'll go and get everything ready.
Well then, gentlemen. I understood from your letter roughly what happened, and I trust we can settle the matter quickly and quietly. But before we get started, I have to say you've disappointed me, Sir Grozov. King Sigismund placed his trust in you, but you don't seem to be up to the task.
That's not true. I took a few tattered tents and turned them into a proper military camp. Everything here is as it should be.
Only your soldiers seem to die from time to time, eh?
There are always problems, but as you can see, I can deal with them. We caught Musa of Mali in the act. You just need to pronounce judgment.
Musa is innocent.
Christ, Henry, be quiet.
And who might you be?
That is Henry, sir. One of my best soldiers. He just doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Let him speak, then. I'm sure he has something very important to tell us. Tell me, lad, why is Musa innocent, in your opinion?
Sir, people don't murder each other for no reason. They murder mostly for revenge or profit, and Musa had no motive. You can ask everyone in the camp. Musa never had any quarrel with Chertan.
But if it wasn't Musa, who did kill Chertan?
Chertan was killed by the camp commander, Grozav of Boromlaka.
What?
You scum! How dare you?
Silence!
You aren't going to let this peasant insult me, are you, sir? You should cut him down to size.
That can wait. First, I want to know how he came up with this insolent claim. And start at the beginning. What happened that night by the powder store, by your reckoning?
So Grozav was most likely trying to steal black powder. It's very valuable, and often gets stolen, I've heard. But Chertan caught him in the act. There was a fight, and that's how it ended.
Me? Stealing? What impudence!
What do you base this on?
There was powder scattered all over the storeroom floor. Chertan disturbed Sir Grozav, then he spilt the powder.
I've had enough of this. Another word and I'll have your tongue cut out.
But Sir Grozav, why are you getting so worked up over this simple fellow? You don't have anything to hide, do you?
Me? Of course not.
See then? We shall continue. What happened next? You carried Chertan to the infirmary? Isn't that right, Sir Musa?
Yes, sir. There, I gave him wine to drink, and I prepared to stitch his wounds, but he died before I could.
It seems someone poisoned the poor fella.
Grozav went to the infirmary a little before me and Katz. He could easily have had time to poison the wine Musa gave to Chertan.
What say you, Sir Musa?
It cannot be ruled out.
Well, Sir Grozav, what actually happened?
Why are you all still listening to that dung grubber? Where would I get hold of poison?
You brewed it up yourself. You have lots of poisonous plants in your tent. You can go and see for yourself, sir. He has a chest full of them.
You fucking liar!
Silence! I've heard more than enough. Sir Grozav, you will come with me.
Me?
The king will not stand for wrongdoing among his nobles. That must be punished.
But I didn't do anything!
Don't make this harder than it need be.
Keep away from me!
Calm now, sir. Calm down.
Shut up, you worm! It's all your fault anyway! I won't let you put this on me, you hear?
You're mine!
Ah!
Well, Sir Stibor, one problem is cleared up, and another one takes its place.
I wouldn't say that. We've rid the king of one idiot. It's just a pity Chertan had to die because of it. And I apologize to you, Sir Musa, for the unpleasantness you suffered.
My head will remain on my shoulders. That is the main thing.
What will happen to the camp now?
That is not your concern. I will personally take command. You just get rid of the corpse and clear out the royal tent for me.
With pleasure. We won't be staying long anyway, will we, Henry?
As you command, sir.
Then I do command, soldier. Go and pack.
Have I got time to stop by the baths? There's something I need to sort out there.
All right, but hurry. I don't intend to make the journey in the dark just because you want to dip your wick one last time.
God grant you health.
It's happening. The Praggers are leaving for Sedlets.
At last, I won't have to wash the Cuman's asses anymore.
Tell Zizka everything, so they're ready for the ambush.
I will. But be careful once it all starts. I wouldn't want Dry Devil blowing your brains out by mistake.
Hey, you! Have you done something I should know about?
Greetings. For my part, I could happily have done...
All right, I'm ready. We can get out of here.
The sooner the better. Deserters, traitors, murders. I'm getting too old for all this. But the really heavy shit is still ahead of us. I can't imagine how I'm going to explain to the king that Sir Grozov, who he personally put in charge of his soldiers, is a murderer.
Well, maybe it won't be so bad, and Sir Stibor will back you up. I heard Sigismund wasn't too fond of Grozov.
Just he can't say it openly, because the other nobles wouldn't like it. Well, let's leave it be now. Otherwise we won't get out of here before dark. Sedlets await!
So the devil jumps him from behind a tree. But Pa, who's already got his blood up, just grabs him by the horns, wrestles him to the ground, and then starts giving fur death such a hiding. The fur is flying off. Wait, fellas. After Pa was done with this, What the
That one's had it! Is that what you call fighting like a man? I'll beat you to a bloody pulp for that! You should have fucking stayed out of it! This one's mine! Come on, kill him! Tight.
There. It's done.
What's the matter? Aren't you happy?
It just doesn't seem right, what we did to those people.
Not people, the enemy. Remember that. Trust me, you'll sleep a lot better. By the way, who's that fella over there? The one who fought on our side?
He's called Crow. We met in the camp. I wouldn't say he's our ally, but he's against Sigismund. He killed the Cuman's commander and blew up the ammunition store. It's a long story.
Fucking hell, now that's a man. I like the sound of him a lot more than the lot who've settled into Devil's Den. Brabant has already brought up his promised reinforcements.
What are they like?
Well, you'll see for yourself. But now, we have to get out of here first.
Yeah, the sooner we make ourselves scarce, the better.
To the task, then.
Seems like we poked a hornet's nest with that ambush, eh?
We did. And that means the Devil's Den won't be safe much longer.
Another reason not to stick around there and attack Malashov.
Well, we're in luck. Ada's just returned from a scouting mission, and he says von Burkov's at the castle.
And what about Brabant's men? You were saying you don't like the look of them.
I just don't trust them somehow. But I'll admit that Frenchman surprised me. They're no greenhorns.
We'll see how they fare in battle.
Indeed we will. We'll soon get going. Get ready, and then we'll plan what's next.